This is our 62 Mercedes 220SEb Coupe. So this video will cover a few different things. First off, there will be a very slow-paced walk-around of the car. Following that, there will be a second walk-around where I'll show close-ups of all of the cosmetic blemishes. And then there'll be some shots of the interior as well as the car running. So we purchased the car out of Omaha, Nebraska, where it had been with the same owner since 1985. It had been in Omaha since the late 70s, having been in Colorado before that, and obviously a European delivery car before that. So the car will come with a good bit of documentation. It's got service receipts from the late 70s from a complete, disassemble engine and trans rebuild clutch service. Pretty thorough, but obviously that was in 1978, so it's been a while. The previous owner was elderly, so it sat for the last few years of his ownership. So check out the listing for a recap of what we've done since purchasing the car. But we've gone through the fuel system and got it running and driving, and then been tinkering and adding miles, as we see fit. As it sits right now, it's a nicely sorted driver with a few minor cosmetic needs. Body is very, very nice, but you'll look at that chrome there. Chrome is pretty dull in certain areas, particularly on the rear passenger side. There's a couple rust holes in the chrome, which is unfortunate. But again, you'll see close-ups of that stuff later in the video. Car appears to have always been black. It is a respray, not the best respray. It's pretty good. I mean, you can tell in this video in direct sunlight, it definitely polishes up very well. But there are a couple little areas, particularly on the roof, where you can see little tiny specks of dust underneath the paint. Just not a Concours job. Wheels are in really nice shape. We love the hubcaps on these cars, particularly when they match the body. The tires are outdated. Those should be replaced sooner rather than later. We have neglected to do so. We figured the next owner would want to choose what tires he puts on there. But aside from the chrome bumpers, the rest of the polished trim is quite good, nice and dry. You can see a tiny little ding there on the passenger front fender, but really aside from the oddball little ding like that, the car is very, very straight. The panel fitment is excellent. The doors open and close exactly as you would hope from a Benz of this era. So these are all of the cosmetic blemishes. You can see just these little spots between the lights, little specks of dust under the paint there. That's really the most glaring spot, and then you'll see the roof as well. The rest of the car is quite good. You can see the 200,000 kilometer badge there on the grille. Odometer reads 56,000 miles, 55,000 miles, so we're not positive as to what is exact, but the cluster was put in when the car was imported. Little signs of age there, some spider webbing in the paint on the passenger door. These cars just being pillarless just absolutely makes the design beautiful. Little chips, over the wheel wells. You can see here that this tail light is slightly off-colored from the other one. Just a little tiny bit darker. A little comparison there. But, same correct lens. The car does still have the Euro lights, the clear headlights. All the lights and signals work inside and out, including glove box light. See there, signs of age, not cracking, but just general signs of age on the roof. And then this is what I had mentioned earlier. There are a couple spots where those aren't dings or anything like that. They're specks of dust underneath the paint. Then just your typical chips going along the door crease. Nothing significant. Rocker trim is actually very nice on both sides. You can see that panel fitment, very, very nice. Just an honest car and a very nice spec. 4-speed on the floor is really this car's claim to fame. Most of the manuals had them on the column. Interior is quite good. Nice, deep, rich tan color, not this funky, discolored stuff like we sometimes see on older Mercedes. Steering wheel, which we love on these cars, is free of cracks. There's a couple little, where you rest your thumbs. There's a couple little markings, but no real damage. Door panels are good. The wooden dash, you can see the wood where it meets the windshield right there. There's a little crack, decent sized crack, up on the top, but the lower dash face is quite good. The gauges are all functional. Odometer being 56,000-ish. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but it does tick. So now you can just get a good look at the wood. The Becker Mexico correct radio is not functional, but when you turn it, we do hear the speakers kick on for a second. Not music, but we hear them tick on. So speakers should be good. It's got the analog clock there built into the dash. Original carpet, we believe, close to 100%, but pretty good. A little tired there on the driver's floor, as you'd expect, but cool to see it original. This is the passenger seat. You'll see some signs of wear, some cracking. The driver's seat appears to have been reupholstered, because it is the nicest seat in the car. I believe the other three, the rear and the passenger, are original, unrestored seats, whereas the driver was reupholstered, done in the correct, I believe it's the MB Tex material. Definitely feels and looks exactly the same as the rest of the car. The only telltale sign that it would have been reupholstered is the fact that it's in better condition. The blower motor works, the heat works. The car's a nice runner driver, fun car.